Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 13 of Unmatched. We got a lot to talk about today. Champions League final, some NBA action. Um, there's just so much Euro squads getting announced, people getting left out that don't deserve to be left out, all that good stuff. So, firstly, NBA finals are set. Dallas Mavericks versus versus Barufa's Celtics. How do you guys feel about this matchup?
It's
Oh,
two of the best, if not one of the best, offensive duos in the guard position versus two of the best, if not, or two of the best defensive duos in the guard position. Right? It's like the complete opposite matchup in the guards, and it's gonna be fun to watch. I mean, there's more variables outside of that, but I'm just that's like the highlighting matchup I would say for the finals.
I think the Celtics match up better against Dallas than they did if it was
Then
for
who?
me, than Minnesota.
Oh yeah,
I think because like we don't have the bodies to throw at the two bigs. So yeah, so I think Dallas's matchup is better for Boston just because we have so many guards to throw at Luka and Kyrie. So I feel like for Boston's best sake of trying to win the championship, I think it's better going through Dallas.
okay, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I get that. I don't know. I think I'm just concerned about Kristaps, right? Like that's my biggest thing because I don't know if the Celtics are going to be capable of beating the um, Dallas Mavericks without Kristaps.
Mm-hmm.
And my concern is also that the Celtics just play around too much, like throughout the whole playoffs, right? Like if we're really being honest, they shouldn't have lost the game till
Yeah.
they shouldn't have lost any game this postseason.
yeah,
Right, first round you go up
Yeah.
against the Miami Heat, and they don't have Jimmy Butler, and then Miami Heat get crazy hot from three, and then they lose. Okay, fine. Second round, you lose a game to who was it again? I'm losing my
the
train of thought.
Cleveland.
Cavs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lose a game to the Cavaliers, so you dominated all regular season, and the only time that they beat you was like a comeback for the ages.
Yeah.
And then you finally sweep a team in Indiana that you were meant to sweep without Tyrese Halliburton for the last two games, 2.5 games, I guess,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. And they got the job done. So shout out there. But they shouldn't have lost the game, but they
No.
they played with their food. They fucked around too much. And I think that shit was, I think it hurt them. You know what I mean? But I don't think that'll be the case. I hope that won't be the case because you're not going to be able to get
Yeah. No.
away with that against a team like Dallas, right? Especially when it comes down to the clutch, so on and so forth. Like you don't want to be dealing with those kinds of issues. So I don't know. I don't know who I'm gonna go for. I'm not sure who's gonna win. You know what? I'll say Dallas just so that way I don't get
Well,
hurt.
now it's Dallas.
Yeah, I don't get. So I'm gonna say Dallas just in case I don't get hurt. Um, I don't get hurt if Dallas does win. You know what I mean?
But it's gonna hurt on the inside when
I'm
Luka
co-
wins.
I'm covering my losses
I
type of
mean,
things.
Porzingis should be healthy. Like even though they were aiming to get him back for Game 5, which probably would have just been like they were rushing him into
Yeah.
back in. Like the fact that you have 8-9 days of rest, like he should be at least 80% by for Game 1, right?
Yeah, exactly. That would be the hope. That would definitely be the hope.
And it's not like you were saying before about like they swept Indiana. It's not like they did it convincingly either.
No, not at
Like
all.
No,
they were down
exactly
they were down in a bunch of the games. Like they can't be waking up in the fourth quarter against Dallas. It's not gonna work.
at all.
The team's too good for them to have a 13-point comeback in the fourth quarter. Like
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous. It's something that shouldn't have happened at all without Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
So that's my those are some of my biggest concerns for you guys going forward.
Yeah, the biggest concern for the Celtics is themselves. Like that's but that's
always
been the case, and it's just like
it's been like that
lose,
for the last
beat
several
themselves.
years.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm going Dallas Mavericks as well.
Oh, fuck all you guys.
In 6 or 7. I'm trying to see.
Celtics in 6.
I'm gonna go Mavericks in 7.
So if it goes 7, I think Dallas wins. Just because I think
clutch time.
I think the pressure is just gonna build on the Celtics because it's just gonna be like every year everyone talks about
no
them.
clutch.
They can't. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it's just gonna throw everything out the window.
But the issue is, it's like there's also, even though the players can be clutch on the Celtics, it's like nothing's drawn up. It's just give the ball and like get in the hoop, right?
It's the worst like 1 minute offense.
Yeah, exactly. There's no final game plan.
No, it's just you throw the ball to Tatum, let him waste 20 seconds of the clock, and then put up a bad shot.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what it's been the last couple of years, and it's just been annoying. Like, I wish when Brad Stevens was coaching, they used to fucking draw up a play to let it like someone wide open right in front of the basket for like a tip in. Now they don't do anything like that.
Nothing.
It's just.
And it's like you could do that sometimes, right? Because just with the quality of the player, but like.
Yeah.
When you're in the NBA Finals and let's say you're going down to 3 games or it's going down the stretch, you're not running 3 games of that, right?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. I'm sad that Minnesota lost because I really would have liked to have seen a Minnesota versus
Celtics.
Anthony Edwards versus Jason Tatum. I really would have loved to have seen that, but
we still get a good storyline of Porzingis returning to Dallas and Kyrie returning to Boston, right? So it's like you still get like
even like Luka versus Jason Tatum's. I know a lot of people think it's not even a debate, but I do.
Yeah.
And this will be. I don't care whoever wins this series. To me, I'm saying it's better. That's how I'm looking at it.
But I mean, like we also talked about this all. Like, it depends on the performance, right? Like they're both gonna perform, but it was the question of like, is Tatum, I guess, a bona fide superstar, or is like he the next level? And we're like, if he wins it, is he? And it's like. He can be, but it depends on his performance. Like, we know he's going to average, like, 25 plus or whatever. But the thing is, you kind of have to count on him to drag his team forward for him to be that next level, right, of, like, I guess, of caliber. Because right now, he's an all-star. He's a fantastic player, but it's just he's not that caliber where he's dragging his team on the back. And I guess it's, like, suffering from success in a sense that Boston is fantastic, but...
It's not needed when you have 2 other 20-point-a-game scorers on your team, right? Like, there's no need to like have to shoot the ball when you have other guys on your team that could make a bucket too. So his numbers dipped this year, but the team success went up. So it's
exactly.
You're gonna fault the guy for sacrificing his own success for the team success. I don't know. I feel like you got like unfairly punished this year because we added Kristaps and he needed to get his buckets too, so his numbers dropped.
But then this is where big moments come in, right? And I mean, you could also add in the aspect of coaching where you're just giving Tatum the ball, but like it's also those moments that like if he's getting the ball, he's the one trust to put in the bucket. If he's not doing that on a, I guess, semi-consistent basis, then it's like it's hard to put him that tier up, right?
Yeah, that's true. Very valid.
But fun finals nonetheless.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to be excited. Starts June 8th, game 1 in Boston.
Yep.
What a game it will be.
And it's funny, like, Boston's not good at home, and Dallas is not good in game 1s, so we'll see.
Great start.
Yeah, that's very true. But the Celtics are going to need to be good at home for this. Because there ain't no point in home field advantage if you can't close things out.
It's gonna be a lot of loud fuck Kyrie.
Oh yeah, hell
don't,
yeah.
Dude.
Don't poke the bear. That's the
know
wrong thing Boston.
Dude, he's gonna love it too.
Yeah.
You know they hate them.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't stomp on the logo again.
Oh yeah, that's true. But hey, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Like you said, there's a lot of storylines.
Yeah. A lot of excitement for this finals.
Exactly.
So Europa League final, Atalanta, and I believe all of us predicted Atalanta to win, if I recall correctly.
No,
I
took
think also Bayer. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
He was the only one that
both
didn't.
You guys took Bayer?
No, I took Atalanta.
Okay, but you took Atalanta because you had to.
It didn't work out for me anyway. So
and it still didn't work out.
No, because they fucked us in the end because they won a meaningless game last weekend.
So you guys aren't. That's true. You guys aren't even in Champions League.
No, they're in Europa again.
Because they started their best 11 again this weekend for no reason and won like 4-0.
Wow, it's a small club. My team can't relate. But no, it was. Listen, Lookman was crazy.
Yeah.
Like
one of the better hat tricks I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It was sensational, and I think it humbled Bayer.
Yeah.
And I think it's also I think it was a good litmus test and a good, a little bit of a wake-up call for Xabi, because there was so much talk about him going to Real, blah, blah, this and that. Now it gives him that extra year of experience to get into the Champions League with Bayer now, face the tougher sides, and have that experience going to a club like Bayer, which will probably happen after Ancelotti leaves, because, that experience is key. You know what I mean? It's definitely key. But that hat trick was sensational.
It was unexpected.
And I was still like, they're up 2-0. I'm like, okay, like I'm not comfortable yet because Bayern's just been doing some bullshit.
Third goal to be like,
yes,
okay,
yes,
they're gonna win this.
Once they got the third goal, I'm like, okay, now it's locked in because Bayern been doing some black magic all season long. And now, Atalanta handled their business. And listen, shout out to the Italian teams, okay? None of them representing in Champions League, unfortunately. But shout out to the Italian teams. Like, they were... I know they didn't have representation in Champions League. They got not in quarterfinals, but was done after that. But Atalanta dismantling Liverpool, who were in third place.
Yeah.
Dismantling Bayer Leverkusen, the champions of Germany, undefeated in the Bundesliga.
The only loss on the season, because then they won the cup game on Sunday.
Yeah.
So literally one loss
exactly
was Atalanta in the final.
Exactly. So shout out to them, man, because that's Italy's fifth best team, fourth or fifth. You know what I mean? Like this season
they were the fifth, right? Yeah, Oh, like, each season you're saying
But there's a and for the love of me I cannot remember his name, but there's a journalist or sports writer I should say that covers Serie A. And he's been covering Serie A for quite some time. I've seen him like on podcasts and stuff over the last couple of years. And he was saying that pound for pound, Atalanta's the best run club in the world. And I had to think about it.
I don't know how they are higher up, right? Because like maybe ownership wise, I don't know their ownership like status, like how their ownership is right now, because they are a selling club. So like it's a little bit different there. But like management wise, by like Gasperini and everything, he just knows how to pluck players. Their sporting director and him know how to find these guys out of nowhere.
But in terms of like selling players, buying players, putting a competitive team together with the limited amount of resources that they have, like it's incredible.
Absolutely. And it's also that coaching, right? Like that Gasperini puts that team in a system that can win and play an attracting style of soccer, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not that typical Italian defensive.
Not at all.
Like when we watched the game, like who would have thought an Italian team came out in the first 20 minutes being up 2-0 and just keep on pressing the entire time?
Yeah.
Kept trying to score more goals. normally an Italian team would score one and then just sit back and just defend for the rest of the game, because that's just the classic style we play. But Gasperini is playing a fun, attractive style, and attacking style that we don't really see in Italy, and it's been working. Like they're competitive every season. They play in Europe for the last 3-4 years. They've been in Europe, like competing. So it's like it's great to see. And he deserved that cup. He deserved that one trophy.
Yes.
His soccer
Man City better watch out next season.
All right. His soccer translates to European soccer. That's right. Like because it's not the status quo of Italy, he's able like it's a very different matchup when you're going against them, and that soccer is the attacking soccer, especially now, is very universal, right? Teams are playing possession, they're playing high press and everything. So he's playing this era style soccer, which I mean, it's a recipe to work, right?
Absolutely. No, listen, Atalanta's a fun team. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
And we already know they're going to be selling guys again this offseason, so it's going to be exciting to see what guys they're going to bring in next year to keep them competitive, right? Because people are already saying Koop Myers is probably going to either go to Juve or go to a bigger team.
Hell, Scalvini could probably leave too.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great second half. He played great in that second half of the game because he didn't start. And I mean, he hadn't been great for most of the season, but his performance in the second half was very good.
Yeah.
And then you have also Karnaseki in Nets. Who knows if he's going to get a bigger deal? I think he'll probably stay there for another season.
And he didn't play in the game, by the way.
No, because he's not their Europe goalie. He's because it's his first year with Atalanta this season, so they tried to give him a little bit of rest. So they had him in Serie A and then Musso play in the competition games. And Musso played great, and Musso's been good in Italy in the past. He played for Udinese, I think, last year. Like he's just been a solid keeper. So it wasn't good. Like they had a good rotation between both keepers.
It just sucks for these selling teams because it's like, yes, they won Europa, but look at the teams they beat to get there, and like, you know what I mean? They weren't in Champions League and such, but like, there's no doubt in anyone's mind that they could at least compete in Champions League. But it's like next year you might have 30% of a new roster, so it feels like it's a vicious cycle of you're buying players, right? You're creating talent, young players from the academy, et cetera, and then you get to a point of competing on, I guess, a slightly lesser tier than the top tier, and you're ready. You win that, or you compete well in that, and you're ready for the next stage, and then you hit that stage, but with 50% of the talent you used to have, so you crash out of that, like, you know what I mean? It's a vicious cycle where it's like,
and then it takes another year for them to get back there because it takes a year to learn a new system. Like that's why I don't like when people judge players after like being bought into a new system 1 year in.
At least a year you have to give them.
It takes an entire year to learn that style because like there's so many moving parts, and especially nowadays and how coaches work. Everyone has possession of the ball. Everyone is moving. Like everyone has a job, and it's constantly rotating. So it's like it's tough to judge a guy off one season when it's like it's going to take him that whole season to learn.
It's just like the win is bittersweet because it's coming apart, right?
Well, yeah, especially like you don't know if Lookman can get sold after that. It's a big game on a big stage, right? So people are going to be wanting him now after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Koop Myers has been great all year. Jerry's been great all year. There's just a bunch of these guys. De Ketelaere might not go back. Like, depends what happens. Like, they have the buyout clause, but if something happens with him, he might go back to Milan.
Yeah.
People might want Scamacca because Scamacca has been amazing for the last 4 months of this
season. We'll take
right? So
them.
You do need a striker.
Scamacca. I don't know. I don't know if Scamacca's going to go there, but like, De Ketelaere would be if you play him in the right position, not like what Milan did last season, where they tried to play him as a target man striker, which he's not. He's more of a false nine, creative type guy, and it works out when he plays. Like their best formation is when they have Scamacca, Lookman, and De Ketelaere on the field at the same time. Because
absolutely,
Lookman can create on the left hand side. He's pacey, good at dribbling. soften the game. He has a crazy shot, right? So it's like that works. De Ketelaere's dribbling is amazing. His passing abilities, the way he sees the field is great, and then Skamaka is just clinical. So it's like when they had all three of those guys in at the same time, it didn't really happen much for most of the year. But at the end of the year, they all hit their stride at the same time, and it showed.
So if Milan get him back, it's good news just because you don't have Pioli.
No,
so
we're not
not
getting
Picasso.
him back. I think he already said that he's gonna stay with Atalanta.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like we don't necessarily need him. Apparently, our budget in the off season is gonna be 100 million, 90 to 100 million.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, which will be nice. I've seen rumors about Chiesa. I doubt it, but I
see
seen
rumors with him everywhere right now.
Yeah.
But I also don't think he'll leave because
I don't think so either.
Mata's there now, and it's a new.
But Mata also, there's a rumor that he might not. Mata doesn't want him because Mata likes his left mids to come back, and Chiesa doesn't really play defense.
But that would also be crazy though.
Yeah, but it's just like
if it doesn't fit your system, it's not anything against the player. It's just not the system you have envisioned.
Because like the whole Mata system is like like the whole 7-2-7 formation that he runs because he decides to flip the field and looks at it as your left back and left mid are one side of the pitch, the entire middle is a side of the pitch, and then the right back and right mid, right? And he likes that his left backs, like his left mids and shit, come back, and Chiesa is a pure attacking threat and kind of lazy coming back. So it's like
that's true.
I can see why.
We'll see next season. It's going to be an exciting off-season transfer window,
especially with the Euro. People's prices just skyrocket after every
so excited for the Euro.
Yeah,
and I'm so curious to see where Xerxes is gonna go as well.
Not to the Netherlands apparently.
That's
at least his value won't get to go up, right?
I guess.
But I'm also sad for Bologna because I'm also sad for Bologna because you're finally in Champions League and your whole team's getting gutted.
Yeah, like it's
new coach, it's basically gonna be the whole.
Calafiori is gonna be in Juve in all likelihood, which is unfortunate because I would love him in Milan.
I would like him at home, but we can blame Mourinho for that one. That's the one thing he messed up.
There you go.
Who knows? So, they could shock us in the Champions League, but I think it's going to be a crash and burn and a real fast one.
They might make Serie A look bad, with all due respect.
Yeah. Who's going to be their coach? That's the big thing right now. People are talking about it could be the Fiorentina coach. There's a bunch of different.
It's going to be an average, semi-decent.
And they're not the type of team that's going to get a big coach, right? Because even though they're in the Champions League, they're not a big team. So it's like, who are they going to get that?
Who's going to take the job?
And that whole team's like, it's going to be a whole different way they play, right? And the whole reason why they were successful this year was because of Mata's system. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just another sad story of team destruction.
Yeah. Champions League final.
Yep.
This Saturday, Real Madrid versus Borussia Dortmund. Final thoughts, predictions, expectations on the match for you guys?
Dortmund 2-1.
I just want Royce to win a trophy.
Dortmund 1-1. Royce comes on and then scores it and then sends off.
Scores the winner.
No,
send off.
I actually think it's gonna be a high-scoring game. I think these are just. I think it's like a 3-2, a 3-1 for Dortmund.
I don't know if they score that many goals against them.
I think so.
I don't know. Ancelotti's too good to be in a high-scoring game.
It's gonna be chaotic, and I feel like it's just gonna be an absolutely chaotic game.
I've also been reading that Courtois is going to be starting the final. I don't know if that's 100% legit, but that's just kind of odd the way Lumen's been playing all season, and then you're going to throw in a guy who's been injured all year to come in and that could just cause.
I love Ancelotti to death, but if he does that, that is a mistake.
Yeah, I think
you can't go all season with a guy who got you to the Champions League final and then play Courtois. Imagine if Carnesecchi played the final just for the fuck of it.
Yeah, I'm leaning Lunin, but like it's not like Courtois has gotten you and won you that as well in the past. I understand
he won them the Champions League final.
Yeah,
right?
I understand the injuries and everything. So like I get where that rumor, or if that's happening, where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like not only do you have to pay the respects, but it's not like you're paying respects because of past or whatever. You're paying respects because he's been amazing, and why cut that off?
No.
But like, yeah, it's not like it's coming out of nowhere, right, to throw Courtois in.
I think it's going to be a good game. I don't know if it's going to be as high scoring as you think. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like those two types of teams that. I mean, Dortmund can score here and there, like we saw against Atletico. We all thought it was going to be like a 1-0 entire 2-leg games, but they just kept scoring. So I don't know, but I'm siding with Dortmund, not because I think they're better. I just really want to see Royce win. And hey, I was right for Atalanta just because I wanted to try to make Champions League. So maybe I'm right again, just holding out luck for Royce to win a trophy. So, and we all know where Luca's hat lies, right?
I said Hala Madrid.
Oh, you did? We didn't hear that.
Yeah, Hala Madrid. So Hala Madrid because, listen, Madrid's my second team. Ancelotti. Listen, you guys know I love Ancelotti. What he did for Milan as a player and as a coach. Obviously, I'm a Ronaldo fan, so Ronaldo during his time with Real Madrid was a sight to see. So since those days, well, sorry, not since those days, but yeah, I guess this is fair to say. Towards the tail end of the Ronaldo days, I became a fan of the team. While maintaining my allegiance to AC Milan, because it's like we don't really have a rivalry; it's more of a respect thing. So I'm going, and there's nothing against Dortmund. Like I like Dortmund. I think they're a quality club. But if I have to choose, Toni Kroos and Luka Modric's probably last UCL final.
I think Modric said final.
Pardon?
No, but because Modric might resign this, they said it's most likely he's going to resign for next season.
Okay, there you go.
But in a really low role.
Yeah.
Yeah, but their last UCL as a combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be Kroos's final game too, right? So it's both him and Royce's
yeah,
because Kroos is retiring as well.
Is he? He's not playing for Germany, yeah?
No, he's not playing at all.
No, I think he's in.
No.
Who? Toni Kroos?
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, he's in.
Oh, okay. So the Euros final tournament.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
okay.
Why retire when you could just it's a month, right?
Yeah, fair. Well, either way, it's both it's Royce's final
club game.
Yeah, both. I mean, Royce might. I don't know where he's going. I don't think he's.
Oh no, Royce. I don't know.
But it's Kroos's final club game in his career, so either one, it's a good send off for either one of them. One of them's gonna. But I mean, Kroos has enough Champions League.
Which one? Yeah. That's true.
I mean, Kroos has. I think Kroos has enough trophies in his cabinet to be happy about.
That's true, but he's also never lost a UCL final, to my knowledge. Unless he was on that 2012 team with Chelsea.
I don't know how far back he went with Bayern for them to lose. I know he won one.
Well, it wouldn't have been that long. It would have been in 2012, the year before they won it. So maybe he was on that team.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. I'll check that out.
Yeah. But no, listen, I think it's going to be a great final. You got the whole Jude Bellingham, former Borussia Dortmund star, which is another storyline, of course, which isn't a storyline that's getting spoken about enough, in my opinion.
No.
But definitely interesting to say the least.
Yeah. And then there's the whole I don't know. For me, a big factor in this game is Sancho, just for the fact of he was thrown under the bus for the majority of the first half of the season with Man United. Wasn't even part of the squad for a long time. But like to see him have a dominant role right now to get them to the final, and if he shows out in this final, it's a big fuck you to Ten Hag.
What was it,
It's like
Sancho?
a big, talking about Sancho. Yeah, so it's like this is a big moment for him to like. Cause was he part of? I don't think he was part of the England squad, right?
No.
Or did he get a call up in the
I
end?
don't
Yeah,
think he
so it's
got a
like
call up.
No, he wasn't
like,
called up.
So like he's been great for the last couple months of the season, and if he has a great final, it's a big shining moment for him to tell everyone like, hey, like it's not me that was the problem there, it's the system.
Yeah. Absolutely. Also, I just seen Fabrizio Romano. Let me give you guys a little update on what
Coming
my
in
guy.
live.
Story.
Well, yeah, let me just say it. I know you know it, Barry, but let me just say it.
Okay.
Maybe Paul doesn't know it, okay? And the people at home listening, listen to this.
Yeah. Here we go.
Kylian Mbappe. He said, "Italian football question mark? You never know what happens." He apparently told Sky Sports. I was always saying if I will go to Italy one day, I will go to Milan. As a kid, I was a big fan of AC Milan, and I always watched Serie A every Milan game. All my family are massive Milan fans. Oh, yeah, boy. Hey, y'all know what that means. Y'all know what that means.
It means at 37 years old, he'll sign as your striker because you guys don't take strikers under 35.
That's what I forget what reporter
someone
said it.
Tweeted that?
They said at the end of his Madrid career, he's going to go to Milan. So it's like, maybe at 33, maybe, like, I don't think soon, but, like, I can see that happening. I don't think he'll be in his prime at that time, but, like, I can see it happening.
It's the next few days he's supposed to be announced, or he alluded to announcing, right?
I'm going to say that Mbappe will become a Milanista by 33 years old.
That's fair. I said 33.
That's fair.
Unless he decides to come now, which would be spectacular.
Not gonna happen. I think it's already.
There goes your transfer budget just in his wages.
Yeah, 100 million is just straight wages.
Just his wages.
That's true.
But no, like I feel like the Madrid's gonna announce it probably after the Euro. I don't think anything will be confirmed until after that.
But he was supposed to announce it himself, like, in a few days.
You don't think
it's also marketing and just getting people what?
Barry, you don't think anything's going to be announced before the Euro?
For him to go to Madrid, I don't think so.
Really?
I think I think it's probably going to be. I mean, I feel like it's normally what happens. I feel like when big players go to a big club, they kind of don't want the. I don't know, because like if you announce it now, you get rid of the drama of them constantly asking where you're going, but then like. Once you announce you're going, it's going to be all the media focused in on you saying what's next for Madrid, what's next for you there. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like
But either way, he's going to have it because if he doesn't say anything, they're going to speculate anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't see an issue on either doing it before or after.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think Arda Güler is going to be going on loan anymore because he's been hooping.
Yeah, and
it's tough because like he has been, but he's been playing in games that I guess quote unquote don't matter, right? Like they already secured.
Yeah, they already won the league.
So they're resting key players, and so it's like.
But
yeah,
also,
he's
like,
showing his talent, but I don't think these games really put him into the rotation that much, right?
Yeah. But also, like, why Madrid are you interested in Florian Wirtz? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, there's I don't know, like they have.
There's no reason for you to be even looking in the direction of a Florian Wirtz.
And it's
like if you don't buy them, someone else will. So that means another team getting.
Lenny
you know what I mean?
Yoro,
It's that mentality.
Lenny Yoro, the center back for Lille.
Yeah.
I believe it's Lille. Or Lyon, I can't remember. I believe it's Lille though. He's gonna be a stud.
Somewhere in France. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna be an absolute stud, and I believe Madrid's working on bringing. He's only 17 years old. I'm pretty sure he's starting like majority of the games for Lille or whichever French team he's part of. But
I mean, I can kind of see the Wirtz one because like I feel like they want to drop Bellingham into a more center mid traditional role.
Yeah, like a box to box.
A box to box. So that's probably what he's best
DVG.
at. He's in even though this year he scored a lot. Like, I mean, because he's good at
It's not that he can't do
the
the other
midfield.
positions. You just want him in his prime position.
Yeah, but the problem is that if you do that
Mm-hmm.
and you bring in Wirtz, then what's the point of having Guler? It's because it's not like Wirtz is like 27, 28, and like
no,
when
he's 20,
done,
right? Or 19.
Yeah, he's like he's not that much older than.
He's
yeah,
20
he's not
and
that much older than Guler.
Yeah, but even though he's young,
he's
it's like he's great now, I guess, right?
I think Guler is going to be better than him, though.
Oof, I don't know about
That's
that.
tough.
I think Guler is going to be better than him.
Just this, I think it's just the stature.
Turkish Messi.
Like he's.
What'd you say?
Turkish Messi. That's what they call him.
They do call, but I've heard that a lot. I heard that.
There was also Bohan
was
Spanish Messi, and he was playing for Stoke City. So
there's been a lot. There's been a lot of next iterations of Messis that have never panned out. Which I feel like giving someone that nickname is like, it's just terrible. Like giving anyone the next Ronaldo, next Messi, like you're setting them up for failure.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. Like, but I don't know. I think the only thing holding Wirtz back is injuries, because the he's not like he's a tiny, like he's strong, he's physical, he's fast. He has pretty much everything you need as an attacking midfielder, and his numbers he had double-digit goals and assists this year. Like
perfect
number
number 10.
I feel it. Yeah. So it's like whatever team needs him. I don't know. I kind of see him doing the normal German route of going to Bayern Munich after.
I freaking hope not, man.
Like it's just that's the normal thing. Like if you dominate in Germany, you always idolize, like especially with these German-born players, they dream of playing for Bayern. Same thing with like Mario Götze when he played for Dortmund and he was like the next wonder kid. So it's like I don't know. I just kind of assume that's gonna happen. People were saying before the season started, like Man City was like an option for him because I think they were interested in him last year. But at this point, there's not really a need because Phil Foden has just developed so much better into that position. So I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It's going to be one of the more.
Sorry to cut you off, but I could also see him on Madrid. Like, I understand the Guler, but I see him on Madrid because you have Kroos retiring, you have Modric on a lesser role, so you're finally able to drop Bellingham, and he's perfect in there. And it's, I'm not saying Guler is going to be better or worse than him, but in day and age now, to last all these competitions, you also need depth. So there's no issue rotating them or playing a different formation, right?
Satisfied?
Like you could have matchups where you're playing a double cam, right, and just a 3 but a 2 higher cam and 1 in the back with like right in case of injuries or matchup differences. So like I see him as a perfect fit, even though you have a strong candidate already.
Also, do you guys have any concerns that Tchouaméni's not going to be playing because he's injured?
Exactly. That's exact. Oh.
No,
you're talking about in the final.
Yeah. Pretty sure he's ruled out.
I thought you were just talking about in general. Yeah, he's ruled out. He's not playing. But I thought you were just talking about in Tchouaméni's future, because I feel like they just keep adding in midfielders, but like they don't let Camavinga and Tchouaméni like finally take over the reins in those positions. So I don't. They just. But like for the
final, they're so good and versatile, but their versatility is almost backfires on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of like
because they're asked to play so many other places.
Yeah, and it's just like they also have Valverde, and he's also a Swiss Army knife. So it's like they have a bunch of these guys that can just play in multiple positions and be really good at them. So it's like kind of not like wasting them, but like they're never playing in the same position all season long for really develop into that star player because they're just doing so many things.
Interesting. They've been playing with deep passing midfields forever, and although they're great, they're not that. Right, they've always played with one defenses, whether it was Casemiro.
But they can fall into a Alphonso Davies situation, right, where you're just so good at the position that you are, and you never get an opportunity to develop in your natural position that you've been wanting to play.
I still think Davies should be a winger,
like
a left mid higher up. No, I don't think confirmed with Madrid yet. I don't even know. Like, I don't know. Probably after. But like if he goes to Madrid, that means he's locked in at left back.
Yeah.
Because he's not starting. He's not going to be able to be pushed up the field once you have Mbappe and Vinny, right? Because it's like
tell him to come to Milan. We can use him.
Can't afford his contract either.
I know. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. But like I don't know. It's
sounds like y'all need some of that oil money.
I kind of
Waiting
can
for
see.
it.
Not gonna lie, I can kind of see maybe Davies going to Barcelona instead if they don't sign Cancelo. Because obviously they're gonna try to sign
I hope
Cancelo,
they
but again,
do. Gives us like a free 50 million.
exactly. But exactly, it's 50 million, right? Well, I think as Davies might be cheaper because it's his like I don't know if does he have another year on the deal and then signing it, so
But
he's gonna be cheaper, or he's a free agent. I don't know what
I
the
don't
difference
remember.
is.
But don't they have to sell, or aren't they selling? Oh my God, what's
Andy?
his name? No, I'm talking about Barcelona.
Oh.
Arojo, no, Arojo. Oh my God.
Araujo?
Yeah, aren't they selling him for like
Are
80
they?
million or so? I heard something
Oh
that they had
damn,
to they had to sell, or they want to sell for a
They
lot
that's
of
can't
a
money or
afford
terrible.
to
something.
sell him right now.
That's a terrible thing to do though, because he's great.
In
Like
terms of
obviously he has his.
quality, because
No,
they
I
have
think
up
it's
and
the
coming
term. It's
center backs,
terms of
but they're not there yet.
finance. Like Barcelona is always something
Oh, because they're in
financial.
debt.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to talk about Barca, are we not going to talk about how Xavi said he was leaving, then said
Oh my
I'm going to
God.
stay for another year, and then they sacked him?
Yeah.
That was a crazy
That's the
situation.
craziest thing I've ever seen. Where it's like he announced he was leaving, everyone wanted him to stay, so he said "fuck it, I'm staying," and then 2 weeks later he got sacked.
How like it's
Yeah, that
so
was
hard to be
utterly
a Barca
ridiculous.
fan.
Yeah, they're higher up, but I think that's why he got sacked was he was like he got into like a disagreement with the
A
higher
spat.
ups, and they just can't.
Yeah.
But like the Barca higher ups don't make any sense.
No, none.
Like make up your mind. Like he said he was leaving, and then everyone wanted him to stay.
Yeah.
So then why? Like they finished second in the league.
Yeah, bro, it's a
Not like
sad
they.
excuse for
Yeah, I don't.
for a board.
And it's not like they had like a terrible season where like they were knocked out in the Champions League group stage, right? Like they made it pretty far. The only reason why they got a dumb error by Araujo, which completely threw the game on its head. So it's like it's kind of just a weird decision making by them.
It's
That's
they're
true.
also I think it's the curse of the win now mentality, same as Chelsea, because
They should.
we're talking
They're
about
not
like we're
even
talking
down.
about bright
Yeah.
futures, whether it's in the NBA, whether if it's in soccer, whether it's in any sport. Barca has an unreal bright future. Like they were playing in Champions League and competing with 16, 17, 18-year-olds starting, right? They have such a
Yeah,
young core, an excellent young core. Like I understand you're Barcelona, but fuck the win now mentality for a year or two. Regardless, you haven't been win now any like you had that mentality. You haven't won in the Champions League since when, right? But that's the issue. Like you have this great young core you're doing, but now you're going out and spending hundreds of millions on who knows what because it's a big name and you want to win and then still lose, and then it's it's the coach's fault. Like what the fuck?
but like speaking of the future, you got Gavi, Pedri, Lamine Yamal. You got Corbassi, the center back, who was 17 starting in Champions League
Yeah.
semifinals. You got Araujo. You got Kunde. Like, what else do you need? Like, you got the pieces for the. They're all the oldest player on that team is like I didn't even mention De Jong, who I found out was 27, and I was shocked. Didn't
Yeah,
realize he was that old already.
Yeah, he looks young
He
as
still
fuck.
looks like a child, but still, like the oldest player of that young core is Pedri at 21.
And
It's crazy.
you had a manager that was a great manager. Who knows? He has such, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you won the league and you came second the next year. Like,
It's not. There's no reason to be sacking the manager.
right? So you're gonna bring in new manager, so it's gonna be a new system which takes a year, half a year to adjust every year. So is you're just in a vicious cycle, and it's like I'm doing like you know what I mean. I'm sitting here watching it on TV, and I could tell you this.
Yeah. But it's just like you said before with like Chelsea. I don't understand why they fired Poch.
Yeah.
They've been one of the best teams in the league the last couple months of the season.
Yeah.
He's turned that team around with a bunch of players that shouldn't be on the roster, and then they sack him.
It was after I think it was after Christmas break. They were fourth in most points.
Awesome. Oh, he's back.
They were like fourth in most points since that period, right? So they're seeing yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
They're seeing things I clearly am not. Apparently, I don't know.
No, I would have never fired Poch. Like it just.
No, me either. That was a terrible decision. But they're also a terribly run organization.
Yeah, ever since Abramovich left,
Yeah.
It's been a
I mean,
mess. He was one of my favorite owners.
yeah, because he liked to spend money and he wasn't scared to throw money so they can win.
But
And
he
they bought
spent
the
it.
right guys.
He spent it right, and he also he was part of Chelsea culture. He wasn't just an owner. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you have sometimes look, some teams just have an owner and they're still great, but he was not only he was invested into the club. He was part of Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yes. The Euro squads, more Euro squads have been announced. They still have to trim down, I believe. They have to trim down
Italy
4 additional players.
I think Italy has 3 guys they have to cut only.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was 4. I wasn't sure, but
I don't know. Some teams may be different. Some teams may be added more players than others.
Yes. Yeah. Do we have any issues? You guys have any issues with Portugal and Italy's squad?
Let's start out with Portugal.
Very surprised Rio Patricio made the team.
I'm not surprised. He's a third option now.
He stinks.
Yeah, but he's a third option.
I mean, he's definitely not starting over Diogo Costa
or Jose Sa.
I feel like that's their guy. Yeah, I don't really.
He was okay this year. Last season, he had a great season with the Wolves.
But I'm pretty sure for the last couple tournaments, it's been Diogo Costa. So I'm pretty sure he's just going to continue there. Was there any big notable absentees on the team?
I feel like So go ahead.
Okay, Ruben Diaz, is he starting?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just off the leader. I think it should be him and.
He has not been playing well. He has not had a great season.
No, he definitely hasn't. He's not been as good as last year. That's for sure.
But he's. I think he's their best center back.
And Antonio Silva is their next up and coming center back.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be a stud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm hearing great things about him.
Yeah, and he was a part of that Benfica team that went to the quarters against Inter last year.
Yeah. I don't know what it is this year. As we're going through all the Euro teams, defense. We've always been talking about this is the weakest era of defense. A lot of teams have fantastic defense.
Yes. Netherlands, Italy got a solid defensive team.
Yeah.
England's just young defense, right? So England's overvalued at defense. England's just overvalued.
England would be good if they called the right players.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. England's solid. It's not the best there is, right? You have really great pieces, but then
we're gonna talk about them soon because I got a bone to pick about Tomori being called.
Yeah, that's nuts. But going back to Portugal, I feel like their starting partnership at center back is going to be. They play at 4 at the back, no?
Yeah, Pepe, Ruben.
You think it's going to be Pepe at 40 starting?
100% because he's still nice. He
showed out
against Arsenal.
Yeah, he's played well.
Look, in the first round, I think you start with that, right? Because that's what they went with the last tournament.
And see how it goes.
And you see how his legs are. Because it's you know what I mean? If you want to keep him for big games, which I get, because, you know what I mean, he has the experience, and from the looks of it, his legs haven't left him. It might leave him for a full tournament playing. So, you know what I mean? Early rounds, you see how he feels, and then I think you go with Silva for majority of it, and then...
You think so? I was thinking more of Giancarlo Ignacio. I don't know. He's been always that's the sporting guy. He's a young guy.
You know what the thing is for me though is
everyone talks about.
If Silva's your next stud, you gotta get him into these games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that the future of Portugal is Silva and Ignacio.
Yeah.
So, I feel like
100%.
And then, I'm gonna guess Cancelo's gonna start at the left, pretty much.
Yeah, it's Cancelo and I think Dalot or maybe Semedo.
Dalot, yeah, I can't stand Semedo.
He's all right.
He stinks. I remember him he was the guy that was at Barca.
Yeah.
He was the guy that got cooked by Alphonso Davies.
Yeah.
In that game, he's never been that guy.
My issue with Portugal is they have all the talent in the world. I just found they never played as a team. Right? And I don't know if that is an issue of the cast that you have, the players, if it's a question of attitude, if it's a question of coaching, but like they should always be at like near the top of the list in terms of like quality of teams going into the Euro. I just feel like they don't play as a team, and they kind of like they're underwhelming at some points.
And speaking of like teams not gelling together, their coach is the former Belgium boss now, who couldn't get the Belgium team to mesh together.
Is it Roberto Martinez?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's him, no?
Yeah, it's his first major tournament with Portugal. So
yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Like I feel it's a question of coaching.
I don't think he's the right man for that team anyways.
No.
And then midfield, I'm gonna assume it's gonna be Bruno Fernandes, Paulinho, and Vitinha starting. I feel like those are their best three midfielders.
Yeah, I really like Ruben Neves, but now that he went to Saudi, I don't have eyes on him. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know how good. I mean, his team won the league. I'm pretty sure. Is that the team that?
I
don't know much. No,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Al Hilal, I'm pretty sure won.
Oh, okay.
Saudi, but
and then up front you're going Leal, probably Ronaldo, and
Bernardo Silva for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, because they have him listed as a midfielder.
Oh, on the list I have, he's a forward.
Oh, okay. So.
Yeah, that front three is scary.
And it's like, yeah, it's definitely something that's gonna work. I mean, I just don't like the coach, so like I don't know what he's gonna be thinking, and like how he's gonna pull out the team. You never know.
You know what's unfortunate? Sorry to cut you off. Is that
no.
Ronaldo didn't have this type of team in his prime. That's what's unfortunate.
He had this team last turn, like in the World Cup.
Yeah, but like I'm talking about like prime time Ronaldo. You know, like from like 2008 to like 2016 Ronaldo. Mm-hmm. You know, or 2018 Ronaldo.
His
like,
prime, he had a weak defense. He had a weak midfield.
He had a weak team in his prime.
Same thing with
the beginning of his career was great. Ending of his career great. Middle in his prime track.
Yeah. It was the same thing with like Messi at the beginning of his career, right? Like
okay.
It was a bunch of that's pretty much
what it was
for the majority forwards. Like that's all they had. They just had an influx of attacking players, but they had no defense and no. Like it was Di Michele starting at center. Like it was just.
They had Mascherano, and then what they should have done is they should do the opposite. No, they should have done the opposite of Spain. They should have just played 6 forwards in all around, and then the rest are on defense.
You played Tevez, you play Aguero. You don't play Higuain. Higuain sits the bench because I don't know why the fuck you kept play Di Maria. You play like Dybala's more.
They should have done that.
They should just said, "Fuck it, let's give it a shot." Yeah, dude, their midfield's horrible. They played a bunch of
garbage in the midfield. Yeah, they're terrible midfield. They had terrible defense. I mean, like terrible defense. You had Zabaleta and you had. I'm trying to think of the center back from that era. Demichelis was terrible.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like. But I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, but I know, but we know what you're saying.
Like it's not the great, and then goalies was fucking Romero, who was a serial backup keeper. Around the world, so it's like.
But look, I rate Portugal. I think it comes down to a question of their system.
Yeah.
As long as Leal's starting, I got faith.
I should absolutely, just because if you're starting Ronaldo and Silva, you don't have that pace up front.
You need that pace to be able to switch it up for them.
And he has so much power and creativity. Like he would flourish with Ronaldo because Ronaldo is the man. He broke the record for Saudi League goals in a season, dude.
Okay.
Like 35 screamers, bro.
I could get you at least 3 in that league.
Like, no, you can't. Stop. We're talking about maybe the 6th best league in the world. Okay, like have some respect. And listen, when he turns up this year, okay, when he turns up in the Euros with Portugal and he wins his 2nd European trophy, I'm not gonna hear nothing. Believe it, book it, write it down.
What happens if he doesn't get out of the group?
No, he's gonna get out of the group. That's just crazy talk. If he wins, his 2 Euros will be so much better than Messi's 1 World Cup. Like it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I just can't wait. I can't wait.
For the sake of your sanity, I hope so because it's written in stone now.
As long as Italy or Portugal wins, I'll be happy.
Honestly, I don't really. The only team I don't like seeing win is England.
Yeah, I don't want to see England. I used to not have a
It's
problem.
the only thing.
I like England.
Yeah, we know you do, Paul.
Yeah.
They just talk too much. It's just
Yeah,
too
but if
much.
you just tune out the media and just enjoy the soccer.
But that's all it is, and the media is dominated by England, and they're just so biased towards their one team. So it's just like they don't give credit where credit is due to the other team. I'm talking also biased from the last tournament because Italy won, but we won the game, and all they did was talk about England.
Yeah,
we won. You talk more about the losing team than the winning team.
It's true.
I don't know. I think that's also my bias,
yeah.
but like it's just.
It's kind of like when the Lakers had like one in moral victories over the Nuggets.
All right, okay. And then you guys couldn't handle success, and you wanted to go run your mouth, and then my Timberwolves dealt with you.
All right. So it took another team. But anyways, we're covering which one next? It was the Italy team.
Yeah.
No, I don't really got any problems with it.
No, the only one my biggest issue is Fagioli being included after playing one game.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Yeah. Sorry, that's one thing I'm like, why?
Yeah, like it's the only one that's like a head scratcher where it's like
bro hasn't played.
But I mean, look, they still need to cut players, so
I think he'll be one of the cuts, but like the way they've been talking about him, I don't know, he might make the team. But
and I like that they called
Locatelli didn't make the squad, which was a little shocking, even though he wasn't great this year, but he's always been in the Italy squad, so it's just like...
There's a name here that I actually do not know. Folorunso?
Folorunso, he's the guy for Verona, no?
Yeah,
Verona?
But it's
he's the left mid.
Yeah,
I'm kind of surprised, like, if you're going to include Fagioli, like, shouldn't you have included Verratti? Like, I know he's not...
I've not heard anything about him since he went to Qatar.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, if he was great. I don't know if he even played this year.
Like, at the end of his PSG era, also, he was... He was okay enough to make the squad. No, it's not his fault, but I'm just saying, like, towards the end of his PSG career, you could tell he wasn't...
But also, shout out to...
the squad around him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Spalletti because... That's true. Yeah. Shout out to Spalletti, though, because... He's really, it's about how you're playing and right now and whether you've earned it or not, which I respect absolutely. You want to bring the guys that are in form because we remember in 2010, they tried to run it back with damn near the same team. Yeah. It was a disaster class.
Yeah.
It was a disaster, right? So I have no problem with it. The goalkeepers, I don't think they're keeping 4.
No, I think Provedel is going to get.
Yeah.
I think Provedel is going to
I wonder why.
I mean,
he's a Lazio guy. Interesting. You want him out?
But out of the
I'm just saying
it's
interesting. That's all.
Oh, are you running 4 in the back?
I think so.
No, I think it's gonna be.
I think they're gonna rotate. We're gonna see. He said he wasn't against playing 3 at the back and like maybe look out for it, but like.
Starting center backs. Who do you want as your starting center backs? Keeper Donnarumma hasn't done enough to lose it, so he hasn't.
No, yeah, exactly.
For me, I want Bastoni.
Yeah.
I want Buongiorno, and I want Calafiori.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah, the only like one I could.
Acerbi.
No, fuck Acerbi. I think Mancini's been better than Mancini's been better than him all season. I don't get the debate between both of them. And Mancini's been a stud. He's scored crucial goals. He's damn near played through every injury this season. So it's like there's not more you could do. There's no way better. Like he can't play any better than he did this season.
Yes.
It's like
also
like it's
Camarda should
hard.
Sorry.
Okay.
Camarda should have.
A fucking 15-year-old talking about.
Let him get some minutes. Let him get some minutes, dude.
So then, are you running like DiMarco and Di Lorenzo like as right mids or?
It depends. It depends what formation they play. Like if they play.
They're doing a 3-5-2. Are they not?
Yeah, I don't know. Like they've been multiple reports of like different things. Like they might play four at the back, and it's going to be Bastoni and Buongiorno, or like three
I
at the
don't like
back.
for it.
No, I like a 3-5-2 for them and just defensive wingers that can cross.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I said
Yeah.
5
I mean, DiMarco's probably been the best left back in the world this season. Like it's just off form.
So then
Like
Chiesa doesn't start.
he might start as like he's been playing more of a striker this season. So maybe you play two at the top with him and Scamacca, and it's like a nice like
Yeah,
complement to each
I like
other.
that actually.
Because like most of the
Yeah.
season he's been implemented as a striker for I mean most of the season, the back half because he didn't play much at the beginning of the season.
And he
But
could
you
make
see
up
that
because Kamaka doesn't really got paid.
No,
exactly.
you have
He's
your
more
one
just like
target
a
man and when you're one
finisher.
pace.
Yeah,
And then
then
you're
like
having
midfield,
Barella,
Barella, Pellegrini, and
Pellegrini. Who's your cam?
let's get Pellegrini.
And then you're playing Barella, who's box to box. You want more of.
And
You don't want a
it's gonna be a
double box
traditional
to
set.
box.
It's gonna be Jorginho. It's basically what it's looking like. And like
Yeah,
he's
I
been good this season.
guess.
Like and it's like
He's always just there. Nothing good, nothing bad,
and,
right?
and and exactly, but he's just the guy. He's the one guy out of that lineup that is older per se
Yeah.
and experienced. So he's gonna be helps like a calming presence, and like he works well next to Barella. They've played well together in the last couple games.
Well, him, I think
I just feel like we're
Barella
missing that De Rossi type.
him, and the only guys that were on the last team that were playing like significant were him, Barella,
Chiesa,
Donnarumma, obviously, Chiesa,
Chiesa,
and
Bastoni. Bastoni was on the bench.
Bastoni didn't play too much. Didn't play too
No,
much.
I mean it's because we were still riding the coattails of the old men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he played, I think, a couple games, but like not predominant.
Yeah.
And
listen, I really like this. I really like
Di
this.
Lorenzo was a big part of that squad too. That was his breakout tournament. Sure.
I think this team's good, man.
Yeah, no,
solid.
I don't like. It's not like there's. I mean, the past couple Italy teams don't have any like guys that like stand out like name wise. I mean, Barella is probably the best player on the team.
Yeah.
Per se, name wise, and just been the best player in it, like one of the best players in Italy. So it's like
he's the best Italian player for sure for me.
Yeah,
I just find it's
Even
missing
Bastoni
like that
probably
finesse Italy always had.
that's Chiesa. When Chiesa's hot and can be that guy. But it's just like he's the only guy that has that type of skill. I mean, attacking wise, it's pretty much just him that has that capability to change the game. So, but it's not like it's a terrible. Like people are saying that it's one of Italy's weaker squads. Like nothing is weaker than Conte's squad.
No,
Right.
Nothing's
weaker than that.
My only issue with Italy nowadays is just I feel like now it's always been attack, and now I feel like they're finally there, like they're on par with a lot of their teams, or they actually have attack. Now it's for once it's actually I find the midfield is just I feel like their distribution isn't as great, right? Like Barella's fantastic in a box to box. Like I just find they don't have like that deep lying midfielder to distribute. I don't think like Jorginho's decent at it, but he's you know what I mean. You don't have like that ball dominant midfield
that last tournament.
No, I haven't. I don't think they've had it for a bit, right?
They haven't had it since
This last tournament was two box to boxes, right? It was Baratti and
Yeah.
Barella playing majority of the minutes with Jorginho. So like, that's basically what we've been doing as of lately.
Right. So I feel like that's the piece
finally that guy
missing.
that's more attacking. The tournament he missed the last Euro with an injury like 2 weeks before the tournament started, so he missed out on that. So if you get him back, who's a more of a creative guy that can push the ball forward, that can dribble past someone, can make a path forward. So it's like it brings you that more of a creative midfielder that really didn't have like it's not the same. Him and Barella aren't really the same in that type of sense where like Barella can really win you the ball back, can make those crucial passes, but it's like to score
that creativity.
Goals, yeah, and then like I really like Orsolini. I hope he makes the squad. He had a really for Bologna. Like I hope he's not one of the casualties out of the last three cuts.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, sorry I couldn't find him in the list.
I think for me, the guys that at least the three guys probably not going to make the team would be one of the goalies. I'm leaning
Yeah.
towards Providel. I probably really wouldn't see Baroncho making the team, just for the fact that he's not really experienced. He's one of the young guys. So unless they want to bring that guy into the squad because he's young to gain experience for future, but I feel like Fagioli's going to be that guy, and for some reason I don't know why. He's not played at all this season, barring that one game last week. So it's like maybe him, and then out of El Shaarawy or Zakani probably going to be the other guys out. But besides that, I like the squad. It's young. You have a couple old pieces in there, so
You got a good mix of young and old.
Yeah.
And like old, not really old. They're pretty much the oldest guy in the squad is Acerbi, right? So
Yeah.
and he's up there in age, but like he's not a predominant guy anymore.
No,
you're right. Absolutely. I like it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen.
Can't wait for this. I can't wait for the summer. Just
Yeah,
Copa America and Euro. I loved it the last time. You just have games throughout the entirety of the day. You can turn on the TV and just watch a soccer game.
Yeah. Too bad I work a 9 to 5.
That's true. We'll watch it for you in spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, someone had a funny tweet because Gundogan was Barcelona's. You don't have to put this in the thing, but Gundogan led Barca in minutes this year, and someone said it's either child labor or elder abuse in this club. Nothing in between.
Yeah, it's true because they can't afford anyone in their primes. They're all like rookie quote unquote contracts, or they're on like take less pay because their career is kind of like quote unquote done, and they're like, I want to say I played for Barca.
I also want to say, like, for that team, for Xavi to get like so much abuse and then getting sacked, how many games did that midfield trio play together? De Jong, Gavi, and Pedri. Because I don't think everyone's been injured at the different time, right? So that trio has not been together all season.
Regardless of the how, like, look, if Xavi's not the right coach, there's you know what I mean, there's a right way to let him go. But he wants to leave, then you want him to stay, and then you fire him. And this is a guy who is a Barcelona legend his whole career, to top pedigree of Barcelona players. When you say Barca players, who comes to mind? Xavi is one of them, and this is how you treat him.
It's interesting. It's interesting. That's episode 13.
Mm-hmm.
The next episode, 14, will be the conclusion of the Champions League. We'll have our contestants for the NBA Finals, the other contestant, I should say, because the Eastern Conference one is already settled. So we'll see if it's the Timberwolves or the Dallas Mavericks. More Euro team talks. England, France are definitely going to get spoken about. We can't forget though the two favorites.
Couple shocking decisions on both those teams. So.
Yes, and also just quick, I think Marcus Thuram should start as striker.
We saw that in the World Cup. He was a difference maker in that thing.
Absolutely,
in that tournament.
Absolutely. So that's episode 14. Thank you. Engage, talk shit, hate, disagree, agree, all you want. We love it. And we want to hear your opinions, man, because this is sports, bro. We all have our own opinions, and we all like to hear what other people have to say and how other people view the same topics that we're talking about. Peace.